All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you fucking laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, swinging, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, all that.
All right, welcome to the 197th episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. Yes, this is our Simeon Rice episode. Now, a lot of people think of Simeon Rice and be like, oh, whatever, but he's 20th all-time in the sacks in the NFL, and he was before Javon Curse, who they dubbed as the Freak. He was the first athletic, like super 4.5, 40-yard dash, defensive end type shit before Javon Curse. And I think that's apropos to us because motherfuckers keep coming up and asking me, are you the drink champs? No, we were before Noriega.
Yeah.
We were before that, all right?
Yeah.
And very successful and such. We are not the drink champs. We are the drinking partners. We promote everything local in Pittsburgh, making this city pop, all right? And we got the craft beer shit on Liznot. I'm half of your hosting tandem, Ed Bailey. I'm joined with my co-host, Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are the drinking partners, not the fucking drinking champs, not the brothers.
They're not even drinking. They just
not
drink.
The buddies. We're not the drinking buddies.
Drinking pals.
The pals, bros. No, we are the drinking partners. 2019, man. If you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. And you can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. Yo, man. 196 episodes we've been asking y'all. 197 episodes we've been asking y'all. We are going to continue to ask you, man. Please hop on iTunes, rate and review. Hop on Facebook, rate and review, man. That's how we know what we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well. And that's how we continue to do well, man. So please hop on iTunes, hop on Facebook, rate and review.
Listen, you love us. You see us in public. You tell us that you love us. Now, at the click of a button, please tell the internet. Please tell the world, all right?
This shit actually matters, man. I don't
it
think
does,
people
man.
fucking
Get
understand.
your ass on the internet and say, hey, all these dudes are dope.
197 episodes. There's a lot of free ass content that we've been giving. Like, I don't know anybody that paid for any of this shit. Like, you might be paying Comcast for the internet connection. You might be paying fucking Verizon to like download this shit or whatever. I don't know what your storage is where you're putting this. Yeah, I mean, data wise or whatever. But for the most part, ain't nobody paying us to do this. You ain't nobody sending us. You ain't sending us a check for this. Is all free shit. So we're just like, hey, why don't you just kind of maybe
just
take a little
love, man. Let them know.
Take a little time out of your day. You know.
Let people know what you like about us, which episode you like, whatever, man. Just let us know. And in lieu, and listen, it's 197. We will say it every time. That sounded weird because I was having the hiccups when I said it. It's 197. It's episode 202. You know what time it is. You've been listening. You know what time it is with episode 202.
Especially after a couple drop bears.
Yes, sir. And in lieu, and that fucking Putin's Revenge clocking in at a 9. Goddamn, Michael. But listen,
crafty ass fucking Russians.
In lieu of rates and reviews, we always accept shots of Henny, man. Shout out to Car Guy DJ and the Conways for starting the trend. Shout out to all of our fans, everybody involved who has kept that shit going.
Pay us in cognac.
Pay us in that yak.
You ain't pay for this now, though.
We off that hen dog. Miles in that yak.
They got them
Miles in that yak. Miles in that yak.
They got them little Henny dips, the little shot, the little fancy little glass.
Go to Wine and Spirits and order the DP. They know what to give you. Yeah. They give you a little shot of Henny with the little cap, twist the cap, take the shot. Like, let me get that DP special. You feel me? But Conways and Car Guy DJ, they done brought us mad Henny specials, man.
Yeah,
we enjoy that. But yeah, man, we appreciate y'all, man. Everybody comes out, supports. Everybody fucks with us with our events. You know what I mean? They come to our shows. Our next one being February 23rd down at Comtra Theater. We got Razor Watney fucking headlining. We got Ray Z in the building.
Yeah.
Ray Z.
Ray's here. Yeah,
that's my guy.
Yeah, man. Ray is ridiculous in what he does, and he's wildly successful. And we were just happy and lucky enough to get him.
Yeah, he hard to book now.
Yeah, he
bougie. He hard to book now.
And I don't think motherfuckers understand or how much effort goes into booking these goddamn shows, man. These motherfuckers really be working, and we'd be like, yo, so how about February of maybe 2030? Can you are you available then? So shout out to Ray. He'll be down there February 23rd, and then we got Union Brothers coming through. Union Brothers Brewing. Now listen, they ain't even open yet. Like they ain't even like
you get that exclusive.
They ain't even open yet. They over there. They opened it up in Butler, and they was like, look, we want to be introduced to your folks, so they're coming down in Arcade or at Comtra.
Exclusive.
So come through there, and then March 16th.
Oh, we got the hometown. You know what I mean? My hometown. He brought John Bruton coming through, headlining from the land of the Cleve. Yeah. So if you were out in Contra, you seen him, but we got him coming down to Arcade, man. John Bruton, one of the dudes. He's out there doing things in Cleveland, man. He's got the Mondays, Make You Laugh Mondays out in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying, working with everybody. He's gonna bring his shit out March 16th, man. Funny as shit.
Yeah, Hot Farm's gonna be out there.
Hot fizzy, man.
Coming through Arcade. I mean, they just bought the theater over there, Unplanted, and they bought the whole building. So I mean, it's a hella expansion coming through. I mean, shout out to Hot Farm.
You had to buy the building because they're doing all them fucking townhouses next to her, or the condos and shit. You know, Lawrenceville, Lawrenceville, all crazy now. You know, all bourgeoisie.
Oh, they bouging up the Upper Lawrence because Upper Lawrenceville it was.
Well, so Upper Lawrenceville is the last to get it, but you know, a lot of retirees. We talked about it on the cast. Like a lot of retirees will end up in Upper Lawrenceville and Stanton Heights.
Yeah,
like, I'm saying. So those people, they got a little bit of money. They be like city employees or pensioned employees. So they retire. They go out there and just sit pretty. You know what I'm saying. So Upper Lawrenceville, it's on its way. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, shout out to Hot Farm and all that.
Anytime you within the earshot of whatever's happening, then it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Hopefully you do that responsibly. Yeah,
everybody's looking for the earshot. Like if shit's popping over here, I don't want to get in there. I want to get in some place that's accessible to there. You know what I'm saying? Close to. I want to get the cheapest land that can get me there very quickly. So
yeah, like I said, shout out to Hot Farm. Hopefully we can do it responsibly. I mean, we can maybe not have to do all that. But I mean,
I have no idea what he just advocated for or what he just suggested. But I'm on board. I trust him.
I don't. You gonna come in and steel toe boots and gentrify the place and kicking folks out and because I mean it's still Upper Lawrenceville is still an affordable area. I used to live in Upper. I mean, not too long ago. So I mean, while it's it's getting a little different or whatever. Hopefully,
it's not going to be for long.
I mean,
it's not going to be affordable.
Yeah, I mean, but infusing, opportunities for folks. I mean, while you're doing that is the way you do it responsibly or whatever. So I look at Wildside. I mean, Full Pint Wildside. I mean, they do a lot of great arts down there. I mean, shout out to T-Funk. I mean, and that's a great room. I mean, where artists can come in and they're very friendly. And if you got a talent and if you got a voice, you can go in there and do that. You know what I mean? With their audience, and that's huge for artistic community. I mean, Drinking Partners isn't Drinking Partners without the support of the community and enlarge the craft beer community.
Without question.
Mean, so as we are changing these neighborhoods, we should change them in a way that is conducive for everybody. I mean, not just a small handful of folks.
Don't change the neighborhoods, just improve. That's all. Don't change them. The neighborhoods they have an identification. They have whatever. Let's improve. Let's make some shit come in. Let's get some commerce going. We all buy shit. Everybody buys shit. So come through. Don't move people out. Just make shit better for the people who live.
Invest in people, not buildings.
There we go. And that is the DP quote of the week. Or quote episode 2, the DP's positive note of episode 2, because we're about to move into an episode where, listen, we've been drinking some good shit, and our next guest has brought us even more. Day's already dipped. He's already sipping the nectar.
Our next guest is a freshman. Is part of the freshman cask. A Fresh Festival.
We didn't even do. Hold on. If you want to see us, come check us out at Freshman.
August 10th, 2019, Nova Place. We're going to be there again. Last year we had it outside. This year we're going to have it both inside and outside. We're taking over the whole mall. The whole mall is going to be Fresh Fest.
We ain't trying to hear no excuses.
30.
Get your tickets.
30 collaborators, 20 black brewers. We got hella bands, DJs, live art, food trucks. I mean, if you were there last year, you're
You
gonna,
already know what time it is.
yeah, you know what it is. It's gonna
know
be
what it
that,
is, man.
but we're gonna be doing it inside too. You know what I mean, with like, so it's gonna be crazy
Fresh
as
Fest
shit.
is episode 2 of 2.
Yeah,
That's what Fresh Fest is.
Yes,
It's episode 2 of 2, but you're there. So for the people who've been listening, you already know.
You already know.
And every now and again, I'll jump on the microphone and let you know this is a Drinking Partners event, and we're fucked up.
Yo, we got Garrett Oliver coming into this motherfucker, man. It's insane.
A legend.
It's insane. Garrett Oliver is going to come in. We're going to get to interview him. I don't know if I feel like if you have a drinking podcast, Garrett Oliver is like the dude that, like, at that point you're like, we might have made it. Somebody might know us at that point. I mean, so shout out to Garrett. We'll see him down there. Tickets are on sale right now. We got the 150. I think that is almost about done. I think it might be one or two.
By the time this comes out, that might be
you ain't about to get those VIPs. That shit is done. But that now, so the VIP is like a real VIP, but then like you got the early access. That starts at what are we at? 3. That starts at, and then that goes 3 to 5. And then 5 to 9 is the actual $45 ticket. Yeah, I mean that level. And the thing that I got last year, typically with a beer festival, you get folks that will get the early access and they're like, yeah, well, I'm gonna just drink me before everybody else gets here, and then they're out.
That new shit.
But like, motherfuckers were coming in and they bought the VIP. They got there at 12, and they were there until 10.
It was
I was
no
like,
reason to leave.
I was like,
there was nothing else happening.
I was like, no, there was
unless you got kids that you got to go pick
Millville
up.
Festival was going on. That PNC Festival was going on.
Those are things that were happening.
The music festival was going on. There was a Comic-Con going on. There was a lot of shit going on.
It was happening, but it wasn't what it was.
Motherfuckers stayed at Fresh Fest.
It wasn't what
for
it was
10 hours.
We were.
Motherfuckers left other festivals.
Yeah,
and they were like, yo, their shit was blowing up. It was like, yo, I don't know what you're doing, but you probably want to be doing this shit over here.
Yeah, what was that? What institution had that? Was it Punka Park?
I don't know.
That had that
some kind of
some other
weird,
shit was happening that just didn't have that same feel. Listen, it's
Lord
all about a good time.
It's
not just about the beer. It's about a good time, man. Like, come through. You know what I mean? We said it last year. We said it all last year. We said it completed. It's a vibe, man. It's a vibe. Like, I don't even need to. I was joking with Day on the last cast. Like, yo, should I switch it up? No, man. It's a vibe. Like, it just is. It is what it is. Like, it's fresh.
If you don't know about it, the New York Times will tell you about it. Vice will tell you about it. The Atlantic will tell you about it.
Like, we out here.
The Post Gazette will. Like, I mean, the people were talking about it.
Sitting in this motherfucking studio every other Sunday for 4 hours. You know what I mean? For nothing. Like. Y'all been having fun listening to us. Now come have fun kicking it with us. And come have fun kicking it with our guest, because he brought us some shit, and I'm excited about what's going on.
Shit is delicious.
It's episode 2 of 2, and every time we do a brewer, episode 2 of 2, I get extra excited because I'm going to crawl home. So, we got Al Grasso from Allegheny City Brewing in the building. Say what up to the people.
What's up to the people?
All right. I like it.
Wow. Yeah.
Follows direction. That's a brewer for real. I'm following this recipe.
Yeah.
I'm not about to.
We don't want no weird beers here.
Yeah.
I do got to say, before we get into the beers, Josh talking Fresh Fest, being a part of it last year, best beer fest I've ever been to. As a participant, as an attendee, just the vibe, by far the best thing. Great collaborations, but it was a sunny day. Music, the vibes were good.
Wasn't
it was
the
just
weather great?
The weather was ridiculous.
Music was good. It was just a great all around time. It was the best beer fest by far I've ever been to.
Wow, that's huge coming from a brewer, because you do a lot of beer festivals.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Thank you, sir.
I mean, I told you Day last year when I was leaving that, and you might have thought maybe I was a little drunk, but I believe I meant it.
I don't believe anybody that
should have been a little bit tipsy.
Oh yeah, no, I meant it then, and I still mean it now. Relatively sober.
Wow. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys and me coming together. You guys were with First Sip.
Yep.
Which is dope. They're actually going to be here. You're going to hear. Oh shit. I didn't even think it. So First Sip is going to be the next episode.
Nice.
So
nice.
198 is going to be First Sip.
Perfect.
But yeah, you guys collaborated, came through. I guess so. First, for the folks that don't know you, who are you and who is Allegheny? Yeah, no, it was 2 of 2.
Early.
So tell us about
So I'm Al Grasso, one of the owners of Allegheny City Brewing. My significant other Amy, and then her brother Matt are the other 2 owners. We opened 2.5 years ago. We're over in Dutchtown and the north side, Dutchtown neighborhood, the north side. and just kind of like a neighborhood brewery, tap house, kind of pub kind of spot. So
shout out to Doystown Music Festival, Cody
Yeah.
Walters or whatever, dope ass event that goes on also on the north side, crazy.
Yeah, right.
But so the owners, like, so you brew,
we brew,
and so how do the other two like wrap in? Are they brewing or they're owning? Like, how does that team happen?
Yeah, so
what's the team dynamic there?
right. So if you want the real answer, when we first started, we all did everything. We all did a little bit of everything, and we were flying by the seat of our pants. We all bartended, brewed, did social media, everything. And as we've grown, we've kind of started to take on a little different roles, like kind of specializing in areas.
But let me know, no. How did you guys like get to?
Oh,
like,
how
do three people come together and open up a brewery? Because that's a huge decision.
Sure, it's
You know what I mean?
sure. right.
like you were you home brewing beforehand? Like
Yeah,
who was the like?
It's a similar story to what most other people will tell you. We homebrewed. So I lived in. We're all from Pittsburgh. We all grew up in Pittsburgh. Amy and Matt are from the north side. I grew up in Banksville in the South Hills.
Shout out to Betos.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt. But I moved out to Denver in like 2005. Side note, because I was dating Amy at the time and we broke up and I was miserable in Pittsburgh. So I was like, get the hell out of here. I'm moving somewhere, and sight unseen, packed up what fit in my car and moved to Denver.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I was friends with her brother too. He moved out 6 months later, and then kind of kept in touch with Amy.
What did you do in Denver?
I just didn't have a job. I got a job. I didn't have a job when I moved out there. I got a job in construction management for a few years. But over the course of the next couple of years, Matt moved out, our other owner, and then Amy moved out. I was able to talk her into. She broke up with me, and I reeled her back in after a couple years.
Yeah, that's a success story.
Yeah. And like,
she tried to friend zone you. Was like, nah.
And it feels so good. You should make a beer car.
But she's tough. She's tough. She gave me 6 months. She said, "I'll move out for 6 months, but if that's all I'm signing on for."
Shit over here. It ain't gonna be no like we ain't just gonna be over here love nesting.
No, she gave me 6 months.
Your little bullshit. Like we gotta.
It wasn't only 6 months. It was if things doesn't work out in 6 months, I'm out.
That's it.
And so she gave us a 6 month window. So I was on my best behavior, and we 7 years later we were still living there together. So so started home brewing, and then Matt, her brother, started home brewing, like most stories go. And I remember specifically, we all, like every home brewer wants to open a brewery someday. So Amy and I were on vacation. We were in the mountains in Colorado one year, and we're sitting like with our dogs down by this little creek on this house we rented, and I'm talking about it. And I've been talking about this brewery thing for freaking 3 years, and she's getting tired of me at this point. She's like, all right, basically said shit or get off the pot. Like, yeah, she's like, I will support you if you want to open a brewery. Otherwise, shut up about it forever, because like I'm tired of every time we go somewhere, every time you have 2 beers, every time you see my brother, that's all you guys talk about. So do it or don't do it. I don't care, but just make a decision.
Shout out to the wifeys.
Right.
Well, I mean, the way I look at it, it took her 3 years to get on board.
Yeah.
I've been talking about it. Where you been?
You could have said this 3 years ago.
Could have said this a minute ago. Once you gave me the cosign, the thumbs up, it was on it.
Yeah,
popping.
That's all. Yeah. I'm moving in the places that I can move. If you moving with me, because if not, then we ain't doing shit. I'm gonna just keep talking about it. Yeah.
It worked out though, because we were looking to get back to Pittsburgh. Denver was awesome, but we were looking to get back, family, that's where we're from, whatever. And just at the time, a couple years ago, 3-4 years, well, we moved back in 2013. There weren't that many breweries, so we're like, shit, Pittsburgh could probably handle another brewery. Little did we know every other brewery in Pittsburgh was doing this exact same thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. What did they say? How many did they say this
24
year?
24 coming up
this
year.
Yeah,
right.
It's
It was
crazy.
like, 17 to 20 last year?
Something like that.
Like,
crazy,
but the
man.
thing is that, like, they're not closing.
Nah.
The restaurants, there's been a lot of fucking restaurants opening and closing in the same amount of time that a lot of these breweries are just still kicking. Like, I mean, a brewery closing is rare.
Right.
Like, that's, wow.
Well,
What is it? Like, what is it
though,
about that? Like, why is there a higher, like, success rate with a brewery versus a restaurant?
I think because there's a lot of ways to kind of skin the cat, right? Like, there's some breweries that want to be big production. There's some breweries that want to specialize. Like for us, I mean, our whole concept is like what they call third place, like somewhere in like a neighborhood spot. that makes the neighborhood better and makes the neighborhood safer, just like more eyes around. But like the third spot concept is like you have home, you have work, and then you have a third place where you get to know people. You get to know your neighbors, you get to know your friends.
Sometimes
so we're cheers.
You want to go.
Exactly. But there's room for that. There's room for that in every damn neighborhood in Pittsburgh for like third places, somewhere that you can walk to, like and go grab 2 pints on a Friday. And that's what we want to be. And that's what I think there's room for a lot of that. So, yeah, I mean, and you said restaurants closing. Yeah, for sure. But like there's 60 breweries in Western Pennsylvania. There's thousands of restaurants. So like there's still a lot of opportunity for breweries to grow and for more to move
there's
into
more
the spot.
Restaurants than, you know what I mean? So breweries are still fairly rare compared to restaurants where you're getting to a high, like restaurants have hit their saturation point. So, yeah.
Well, that's one way to think of it. I think of it like this, right? If I go out and I get good drink, the burger could be mediocre. And I'd still eat the burger.
You didn't even got to have a burger, though. That's the thing. Like, you ain't even got to have a burger.
But think
you got
about
good
the
drink,
craft spots. They have the food element to go along with it.
You have a truck, though.
Some of them just have trucks, but a lot of them have.
We have just had trucks.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, like they're like
but if you consistently have a truck,
that's what I'm saying. Like, they definitely. Yeah,
I have a menu that's cycling, which could be a draw. Like this menu cycling, and again, if I can always get good drink,
and I can get a diverse menu.
If I've been drinking the food, I mean, I'm just eating the food to drink.
So we
you're basing your stuff. You're being responsible. The food is responsible part of the drinking.
Right.
Yeah,
Whereas
I mean,
if I got a restaurant and now I have to wow you with the food every time, like my taste buds got to be whatever.
You don't even want the same shit all the time with food so much, like with drink or whatever. And then it's easier to change up the menu on a beer than it is with food. Like, I mean, you can have more flavor profiles on beer than with food. That's you're talking about different supply chains and shit like that logistically.
And you getting the cool like pairings and shit like you. It's just more variability. There's more shit you can do with a brewery.
I feel like if you're at a brewery that has shitty food, the beer is probably shitty too because you're a chef as a brewer. You're a chef in a sense. I mean, you're talking about flavors. So like, if you're serving shitty food next to this beer, then what the fuck are you even doing? Do you even care about what you're doing? Like, how did you even? Yeah, I mean, so like, I don't know too many. Yeah, I mean, I don't know too many like breweries that have terrible. Food, Some excel in the food side, but there's very few breweries that have like bad food. You know what I mean,
okay.
I'll say every single decision we make a million decisions a day. Little, big, whatever. It comes down to three things. We want every decision we make. We want it to be either helping make great beer, great service, or great atmosphere. Those are the only three things we care about. Like, we want to make great beer. We want to have great bartender. Like we want you to feel welcome and comfortable there, and we want to have a cool vibe. We want it to be just like a nice, comfortable spot.
Great beer, great service, great atmosphere.
Those are the only three things we care about. So every decision we make, it comes on to, is it supporting one of those concepts? And that's like what it makes life real simple when everything boils down to, is it supporting one of our three concepts? And that's all we care about.
All right, so in the vein of great beer, what is this beer that we're drinking?
There you go.
So this is it's a Pilsner. It's called Fair Waters. It's kind of figure I brought a few beers today. This is I figure like the lightest one to start with.
Okay.
It's the first
onboarding. He gets us off of the mindful into his realm. He's like, all right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna wash your palate with a 4%, 4.5%, 5%, whatever. We're gonna wash your palate
cleanser.
Yeah. And now we're gonna get into the real shit.
Nice.
So yeah, it's just like a regular kind of it's a hybrid between a Czech and German Pilsner. It's like a light, clean, crisp beer. It's 4.7%. And quite honestly, so we're on the north side. We're about half a mile from, PNC Park and Heinz Field. So we get a lot of people coming from the games going to the games, and they'll come in and say, so we get a lot of craft beer lovers, but we also get a lot of people come in and say,
I just want beer.
What's your Miller Lite? Yeah. What's your Bud Light? What's the closest thing you got to a Yuengling? And so
beer-flavored beer.
Right. And so we always have something light on for that person that wants it. And we want to put our spin on it and try to make it a little better, a little cleaner, a little crisper. And so this is the first time we did this one. It's the first run on it. But so it's Fair Waters. And the name Fair Waters is named after when the indigenous people were here in the north side before kind of the British and French came in and took over. the name of the Allegheny River was Fair Waters. That's
so
what they
better
called
than the Mexican War Streets.
It's what they called.
Y'all one up the Mexican War Streets. We went to the indigenous.
Yeah.
We went to the indigenous.
Yeah, the Native Americans
Mexicans
here.
up here.
Yeah.
We went to the indigenous.
Went to the peoples.
Yeah, the motherfuckers who was here.
Yeah.
There no Mexicans made it all the way up the fucking Allegheny County.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I
So-
like that. That's actually a really good idea too, to be in the area of the ballpark, the stadium, and have something for the casual. I'm about to get out here and do something stupid with my life, but I need something to. Yeah, I mean, like that's dope. Yeah, 4.75 with some flavor. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then like it's a nice way to like people, because a lot of people are pretentious and like hoppy and this and the other. And it's like, listen, man, you can make it like this is good. You can get that malt characters or whatever. So tell me,
And it's got Allegheny in the name, which
Yeah,
does
yeah,
not
no.
hurt.
but so 2 questions, because we never ask why a brewery is named a brewery, and that's the thing we should always ask, and we never do it. So before I forget, but then 2, you said it's a balance between a Czech and a German, and what the fuck is the difference between a Czech and a German?
Good question.
Yeah. So, So the first part, name. Before the North Side was the North Side, it was a separate city from Pittsburgh called Allegheny City. This is back in the 120 years ago or more and more. And Allegheny, it was kind of like Minneapolis, St. Paul, like sister cities, twin cities across
Before it
each
was
other.
absorbed.
Oh.
And
I remember Peduto telling us about how
Right.
there was a bunch of different cities,
okay.
and then they got absorbed.
So the fucked up part kind of is that Pittsburgh so there was a ballot initiative in like the late 1800s where both the city's residents of Allegheny and the residents of Pittsburgh voted, and Pittsburgh wanted to absorb Allegheny, but Allegheny didn't, so it didn't pass. Well, then a few years later, through some dealings with the state, some backdoor kind of stuff, they changed it that both cities needed to approve it to just the collective vote needed to be over 51%. And so because there were more people in Pittsburgh, even though Allegheny voted against it,
That was some political
there were
shit.
enough
That's
people
fucked
in
up.
Pittsburgh that they kind of
That's kinda fucked up.
forcefully annexed Allegheny, and
That's kind of fucked up. Like, look, what we're gonna do is do like a whole populous situation.
I mean,
yeah,
93% of the people voting are from there. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just saying everybody equal.
I mean, but like one, it's a civil takeover and not like bloodshed. Like,
Sure.
yeah, I mean,
Right.
like, I mean,
Ain't no
probably,
such thing as
and
a civil
2, I mean,
takeover,
like
man. You
at the
take
end of
over.
the day, Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh as a result. I couldn't imagine Pittsburgh is already segregated enough in all these little towns. I couldn't imagine being like Pittsburgh being as good as it is if it had another like an actual division of another city. Like Pittsburgh would be kind
Well,
of
if you eliminated the whole north side,
if you eliminate the whole north
that would be
side,
crazy.
but like the north side, if you eliminate all of everything else that is Pittsburgh, I don't like now of days. Like I don't know if any of those 2 entities would be big enough to like be a thing.
Probably
Yeah, I
not.
mean, like we would just be another. It would
would
just
be
be Philly.
sustainable?
Philly would be the city in Pennsylvania, and then maybe Erie.
Very true.
Like
Because
you
there's
know?
only 2 cities in Pennsylvania. It's Philly and Pittsburgh.
That's it.
Harrisburg, which is the capital, don't count.
Nobody,
Ain't nobody just ventured to Harrisburg.
nobody like goes to Harrisburg unless you're a politician or you made bad decisions.
You
Those
run-
would be-
you run through it.
yeah.
Everybody been through
You
it.
passed.
Everybody, but it's just Philly or Pittsburgh.
You ever been to Lancaster? Lancaster.
I've driven
not on
through
purpose.
Lancaster. I know a lot of people.
tell you,
because
people
it's a
think it's-
huge. It's right outside of Philly, isn't it?
It's not far. People think it like Lancaster's all horse and buggies. It's a cool little town there.
Yeah.
Too. They got some nice breweries there and a cool little downtown.
It's a huge.
Yeah, no,
It's
fucking
not a
area.
city.
It's not a
But
place
isn't it
that
a
I'm going.
county?
It's Lancaster County, but there's a city within it.
Yeah.
So
when
if
I
we
think-
were on a beer run, we'd stop in Lancaster.
Exactly,
but
yeah.
I'm not, me and wifey, we're not going to
Nah,
Lancaster.
no. As a destination,
destination city.
That don't even sound right.
Like, yeah.
They didn't even do it as a name that's like a destination. Lancaster? I'm not going to Lancaster. That's so you
Beautiful
sound-
Lancaster.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
Like, yeah, if I got dealings there, it's not a bad place to go to a meeting, but I don't know.
No, it's not a destination. No.
So Allegheny City. So then, so that's what you name the brewery.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
crazy.
what used to be the North Side was formerly Allegheny City, and we're kind of like into history. We're into the North Side. That's where Amy and Matt grew up at. We're very committed to the North Side, so it's just name made sense.
So then, Czech versus German.
So yeah, there's a few different kind of Pilsners out there. Just basically the source of where the hops, yeast, and grain come from, water style, and
water style.
Yeah, and then like
What's
is
the
it a
water
little bit,
style?
well, how hard
much-
is the water? What minerals are in the water? Those types of
don't want
things.
hard water.
So what? Who? Like,
Is
how
it
do they
Allegheny
differ? That's what I'm saying. Like,
water
how do the Czechs and Germans like beef over
And then-
water style? Like,
and what style for the more like national brands are they Czech or German?
yeah.
As far as Pilsner?
That's a really good question, actually. And I like as far as like Bud, Miller, Yingling, I don't know the answer to that. That's a good question.
I think it's German though, just because I know German like Budweiser is stolen from Germany.
Yeah, I
Isn't it?
think
Like,
you're
isn't that
probably
whole
right.
thing?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Because when I went over to Europe, there's another Budweiser. And the
shit.
story, there's a whole Bud. I was like, oh, Bud. They're like, no, it's not that Budweiser. And the story is that like the dude came over to America and stole the recipe. Is my right? You know what
I think
mean?
so, yeah.
And then became Budweiser. Like, and that's the thing, and that's why there's two Budweisers. You go to Europe, they drinking a whole nother, and the Budweiser you drink in Europe
Are they blue?
I mean, blue is it?
Like the color, like because over here we bloods with the blood.
Oh, they got the blue buds versus the red buds. Yeah, I don't remember. They'd be probably blue. They probably
like the Crip Cola.
But like, what is it about the water that's different between or the
honestly,
hops and all that?
historically, people have brewed with whatever water they have access to, whatever water's around. Honestly, people make fun a lot about Elkistan and Pittsburgh and water and the rivers, but like Pittsburgh's got really good water for brewing because of the minerals that you care about in beer are all like pretty moderate, and so if you do like a minor filtration, like you're gonna have pretty good base water to brew with. So like luckily in Pittsburgh, we don't have extra hard water. We don't have extra soft water. We have just good base water to brew from that we can do.
So the Pittsburgh water is trash.
I heard about
right, well, that's what I mean. Like, so you
heard about it.
yeah, right. I mean, so like, again, like
But good
filtration
for
and all that sort of stuff.
So-
but the mineral content is what I'm talking about. The mineral content of the water.
So
coming through your tap line.
if you filter out the bad shit, you've got a lot of good shit to work with.
Yeah, we get our water tested from a lab like quarterly, and we check like 5 or 6 main minerals, and they're all like very moderate. So then when we want to do, so your water style, your mineral content should be different probably for a New England IPA versus a West Coast IPA versus a stout.
Nobody's ever said that to us.
So we'll add different like calcium chlorides and gypsums and phosphoric acid. We'll add different minerals to get the water appropriate for the style that we want. But because all of the minerals are pretty baseline, like low, it allows us to do that. Otherwise, you'd have to like reverse osmosis, all that shit out of there and then build it back up. So like honestly, people, like I said, people shit on Pittsburgh water, but by and large, the water that comes through your taps when filtered is good beer water.
So water that comes to your tap is
if you
basically get you
filter it.
drunk.
Yeah.
Like we're all geared towards getting you drunk.
Right.
Maybe that's why
All the water,
Pittsburgh
like-
is a drunk ass town.
So I've been
because it's
trying to
got-
get my son drunk for 2 years now. I've been giving him fucking water out the filter out the fridge and just like, get fucked up, little man. That's why he come, because my son asked for a lot of water. Like, water that, like normally kids ask for juice, but he's taking like shots.
You can get water drunk, man. Like you ever drink a whole
that'll
lot
fuck you
of
up.
fucking
Yeah,
water
right, yeah.
and you be like swimming. Like it feels like you're swimming. You can get water drunk. It's not a good drunk. I don't
Never
recommend
gotten
it.
water drunk.
Man,
I've
that
drunk
shit is
enough water to where I feel it in my stomach. Pause. Where it's just like so that might be a bit much, but
You ever get
Wow.
in the back,
I'm like, wow.
that's a weird phrase. Feel it in my
feel
stomach.
it in my stomach.
Well, okay. We're not gonna harp on that.
I mean, wow, that's what you be drinking for to get the stomach
No,
feel.
stop.
Yeah, like I mean, like for the mouth feel.
like, yeah, like,
Well, now
I ain't-
now I have
Where's
to
this
pause
water
that.
coming from?
Now I gotta pause.
how
that.
are you putting this water in
You're
your body?
telling me that you prefer mouthfeel over stomach feel?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then the fact that you would even identify that. No, I don't know.
Because I'm not swallowing. That's not the apparently if we're
Well,
gonna
this
go.
is taking a whole.
How is
Yeah.
this water entering your body is my question.
Well, so I'm very nervous about answering. anything
Moving
related.
on.
So-
Drinking a lot of water though, if you over drink water, like you feel like
But
sits
you
on your
also,
stomach.
yeah, you mean,
Oh,
you
yeah,
do.
no, yeah,
yeah,
oh,
it's
sure.
big. It's a big feeling. But you also like if you drink a lot. Like I've had moments where I've like drank a lot of like, especially like when we were like I did my little military stint or whatever. Like I'd like you would get dehydrated or whatever, and like you just sometimes like when he walks whatever, you don't be thinking. So like I'm just chugging, chug, and like it like man, it's a weird kind of
too much minerals in your water.
So what's the blend of Czech and German that's in this beer?
So we picked components of each that we liked, and there are subtle differences between them. So the hops are Czech hops, they're Saaz hops, so they're Czechoslovakian, and then the grain is a German grain, and the yeast is a German yeast. So it's like just kind of like we picked kind of what we liked best of the style of both styles to try to make something that we thought would be good. So like kind of light straw colored, kind of crisp. A little bit of that, like you would recognize as a light lager to be, but still, kind of fruit, like kind of a little bit sweet and a little bit and kind of flavorful. So
yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's like sweet and bready.
Yeah,
right. I mean,
it's a beer. It's a beer that everyone would recognize as a beer. I think, like, if you're not in the craft, you would be like, okay, this is a beer. Yeah. I mean,
but even in craft, this is a nice, like I said, it's sweet and bready, and like like you said, it's a good palate cleanser, and it's a good like opening. You know what I mean,
yeah,
like,
he definitely did that to get all that mindful off her breath. Let's get that out the way. I got the real shit in the tuck.
All the hop
you
shots.
Brewers be liking to have shit in the tuck. I know. I've been observing y'all. Y'all like to have a little special shit in the tuck. Like, here you go, and y'all slide it over real. Like, here you go.
Yeah,
like, here you
I was
go.
about to fuck you up right there. I was about to fuck your life up.
No,
you don't even know what's going on.
No,
right
go
here.
slow,
Right
easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Shit's
Sniff
real.
that shit first. Smell it. You go ahead and smell
real.
that shit, but rub it on your teeth.
around the gums.
Make your mouth go down.
So what's the next thing that we're getting to in this roller coaster?
On beers?
Yes.
What do we got here? Okay. This is a.
He said like he was surprised.
Like, you don't know. You just reaching into a bag of tricks. I like you as a brewer. Like, that's dope. Just going to a bag of tricks. Just what I pull out is
brought
what it
4
is.
beers. I just figure we'll just randomly pull it out. So this next one's actually it's not even on tap yet. It'll be on tap on Wednesday.
Exclusive.
World premiere.
So you can see on my little name tag there's a line and a question mark because we don't even have a name for it yet. So we're working on names. So if you got any names.
Well,
it's a pastry
okay.
style.
Well, you came to the right place.
This motherfucker be naming.
Yeah.
So what?
Let's do it.
You brought it to the right basement. So tell us
give me
tell us a little bit about this.
Sure, yeah.
Learn about it, and then
sure.
let me
So
get my mind working.
So it's a
Yo, Ed is in like he can't with his chartreuse
I love
shirt
to
on.
hear my shit. Oh, okay, don't you do that. Okay, hey yo, my man. We not gonna. I do got. It's weird if y'all see my. It's like a weird strip of chartreuse.
It's a very. I mean, it's like spring in the winter. You know what I mean? It's brightening up our day here.
Yeah. Hey yo, my man, what we gonna do? All right, what we not gonna do? We not gonna go there.
It's a crisp collar, though. I appreciate the crisp
gotta
collar.
keep the collar.
You know what I mean?
I use collar stays. Do you use collar stays?
I don't.
I damn you. Do you use collar stays?
I do. I do use collar stays. I
don't
use starch though, and that's a starch.
I do use starch.
Yeah, no, I don't do it as far as starch.
I
That's a
don't
starch
buy collar stays. I use the same collar stay that came with the shirt.
That's fair.
I have a whole mitten full of collar.
You got to keep them motherfuckers.
I size them up with the shirts because I don't know which came with which. But yeah, you got to add a collar stay. It's worth.
You guys are trying to look good. I'm just living my life.
Well, can I say this? Because I was gonna go to this. That button flannel contrast I fucks with. The yellow button with the flannel. I'm a flannel. I like flannels. I'm getting into them. I don't know if it was because of beer or what, but I do like flannels when it's cold. So we're gonna get into this beer. Explain the beer. I'm gonna come up with a name sometime by the end of this cast.
So it's a stout. It's a dark beer.
Dark stout.
And kind of pastry stouts are becoming a thing. If you've heard that
what's
concept
a pastry
before.
stout? Is that when they're like throwing the cake in that bitch?
Yeah, like Oreos or.
So
cake
what did you throw in this bitch?
So you ever heard of Nancy B's cookies out in Homestead?
I have not. There's a place that makes cookies.
She got crazy. She gives you the
cookies?
cookie, and she's got the little white sheet underneath, and you can see like the grease. Them cookies good as fuck.
They're
chocolate chip.
They're chocolate
Big
chip.
Jones.
What?
My man's brings them to me to my job. Because she's right by the BP.
Yeah, they're about 5 or 6 ounces.
Yeah.
They're big ass cookies. So
They're
we
big
I know
fucking
about
cookies.
this. I
Yo,
know you
Nancy
all
B,
these.
she got the big cookies.
Best
Shout out
chocolate
to
chip
my man,
cookies in
Mr.
Pittsburgh
Sparks.
by far.
Shout out to
How
my
many
man,
times I've
Mr.
been to
Sparks,
Homestead and
man.
did
He
not
be in
get
there all
fucking
the
cookies?
time. Them
We was
cookies
in
good.
Homestead. You ain't tell me they had cookies down
My
there.
man's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's something weird for me to admit to because a man's brings me cookies all the time to my job. But they're good ass cookies. Like,
They are. They're outstanding,
he
man.
bring them to the team. But like he know, like here you go.
I will.
Man.
Yeah, you slide.
Good ass cookies though.
Nancy
man.
B's.
It's
That's
good
the
cookies, bro.
plug.
Nancy B.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know.
And
I'll
they're
let-
big. They're big.
Yeah,
and
they're-
it's not
they're
like
big.
you bite into them. It's not like the soft, like warm cookie. It's just a good,
Just a
Like
good
a
soft
hearty.
middle.
There's like a little bit of peanut butter maybe.
Oh,
Like it's
man.
really good.
So
Yeah.
good fucking chocolate.
So
Ooh, yeah,
I'll tell you. So I would tell you we put 20 dozen cookies in this beer, but we all stole a couple of them. So there's a few shy. And 2 nights ago, I was laying in bed watching TV, and I grabbed half of one of the cookies, and literally, embarrassed to say this, laying on my bed with the cookie sitting on my chest as I'm just eating pieces of it, putting crumbs all over the place, pissing everybody off. It was a terrible scene, but it tasted really good. So anyway, we put Nancy B's cookies in our stout. So the idea is that it should be a little bit sweet. Maybe pick up a little vanilla, but should resonate or a strong
What's the
chocolate
ABV?
finish. 7.3. It's about 7.3% ABV. So it's not huge. It's not imperial, but it's bigger, and it's still kind of final conditioning right now. It'll be on tap on next Wednesday.
Wow.
But yeah, so it's
I'm thinking Cookie Monster, Cookie Cutter.
we talk Cookie Monster. We talked about
Cookie Monster. Yeah, because them cookies good as shit, yo. Like, them Nancy B's, and we giving her mad free press, but they good as shit. So Nancy, cut us a check, but they good as shit. Like
Cookie Monsters too.
it's not. Well, 7.3 isn't big enough. That's
Yeah,
why I thought
no,
Cookie
it's
Cutter.
not, yeah,
That's why I thought
it's
Cookie
not big
Cutter.
enough of a Cookie Monster.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Not I mean, you don't want to convey, but that is some good fucking like it tastes like cookies. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's so crazy. Like how it's wild to me that you can put a thing into it and then the beer will taste like it.
Sure.
Even after it goes through all that process
Right.
of like fermentation and like, you're adding like it'll still hold the characteristics
Right.
of that. Like, those ingredients that are in there. Like how is that? Like,
I mean, it's largely dependent on when you add it and how you add it. So we put, like I said, we did 20 dozen cookies in here, but the first half we did like into the mash tun before we boiled it, and then the second half was after fermentation. We just sat there with sanitized gloves on and crumbled these cookies up and add them to the fermenter and just let them kind of soak up for 5 or 6 days. So it
oh shit.
and so the cookies largely kind of dissipate into the beer. The chocolate chips, they're a giant pain in the ass because they don't dissipate, and trying to move the beer with just 1,000 chocolate chips clogging up the works was a pain in
The
the ass.
crazy thing about her cookies is the chocolate chip is like the least impactful thing. It is the crust and the core of the cookie. So I definitely taste that in there. I'm gonna come up with the names. Cookie Monster, y'all talked about. Cookie Cutter.
But do you gotta because I saw fucking they we was over there.
Taraji
We was over
P.
at the Goodwood or whatever. They had this fucking barrel aged thing, and they had like all this chocolate that they were. It was on Instagram. They were like pushing. So like, how do you get that chocolate? Do you got to filter that out, or like how does that? You know what I mean?
we have to filter it out. Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, it creates a little more work, but it's kind of fun to do something different. So
It's fun to drink it. I
The
don't
naming
know about
process.
the work about it.
How difficult is that?
it's the worst. It's the worst.
Because I'm sitting over here and what I have no pressure on me, although the pressure I built just through reputation
have
on this
pressure.
cash.
Dude,
but now I'm like, this one is because I'm thinking,
you have
you
a history.
went over Cookie Monster, but it's 7.3. We don't want to call it a monster. Cookie Cutter, that's still on the table. You got Chip and Stout, Chip and Dale, something like that, because you got the chocolate chip. I'm thinking, man.
Yeah, I'm all ears, man.
Nancy is a woman. I mean,
I got to do some research on Nancy Reagan because that just says
we don't
it's
support
only
the
Nancy.
Reagans here.
Don't support them at all.
So,
but the Nancy is the operative part.
Yeah, so it's far
So
away
if you can
from,
use the
you
Reagan
know,
to describe the
no,
effect
probably
of the
in
beer,
no way,
not
shape,
in
or
the
form
negative.
should we should probably no way, shape, or form associate this beer with the Reagans.
That's one thing, but they did get elected, so
yeah, that doesn't mean the goddamn thing.
that means some people support it. We all about making money.
Fuck that. Fuck Nancy Reagan. Do not put Nancy Reagan on this goddamn thing. No,
That is okay. Look,
Nancy Reagan it is.
this is not an endorsement of Reagan policy at all. I'm thinking about a catchy name to sell.
Nah, names are terribly
Just
different.
don't name
mean
any beer
something.
Reaganomics. That's all.
Yeah,
Just
no.
don't do that.
See, that's a. If I'm sitting at the bar and I see Reaganomics on your tap list, then this ain't the bar for me. I'm not clearly. They didn't want me here. Like it's just so a name means some shit.
Yeah, but you got to understand what maybe that background might mean behind it. You know, like you saw Reaganomics, you think that it's
it would. Okay, so I would have to get the backstory. Say
Sure.
why is it Reaganomics? And
Like, we did a brief
you
run.
could have a good story about whatever.
But
if
see, right at that point, it's done what it's supposed to do. You're now intrigued.
So we did a little run on a beer last year, and it was right around the time the first government shutdown happened, not the recent one, but the one before. And we called it Government Shut Brown because it was a brown ale.
Ooh.
And so like people loved the name, and it got them to drink it, So like, and it wasn't a political take one side or the other so much as it was just topical, timely, and like with what was going on.
Yeah.
And we were driving. It was at Goodwood last year. It was 2 years ago at Goodwood.
Pause.
The same thing. We were driving to Goodwood, and
I gotta
don't take
pause.
anything that he's
No,
saying.
no, yeah,
and
you
it
continue
doesn't
what you're
matter.
saying. I have to
That's
pause
It
that.
does.
okay.
Yeah, you were driving.
So we were
I
driving
gotta pause that.
driving to Goodwood with a
Pause.
barrel aged stout that we didn't have a name for. 20 minutes before the festival started, and we're listening to the radio, and they're talking about the government shutdown, and somebody that was sitting in the back seat said, "What about Government Shut Brown?" And we're like, "Sure, that works.
That's just
Perfect."
it. There
but
it is.
we didn't have a name 20 minutes before the festival started. We didn't have that name until like right before, and that's
Yeah.
what is difficult about names. We have had people waiting outside to come in on a Wednesday at 4:45, and we have a beer ready on the board, and we don't have a name for it yet. And like we're like, we need some fucking name for this beer, and like we stress because we want it to be a good name, we want it to be like meaningful. We don't just like to do like random name generators or whatever. We want it to be meaningful, but it's tough when you do 150 different beers a year to come up with names. Maybe not 150, but whatever, 75 different beers a year. It's hard to come up with names for all of them. So yeah, when something kind of flies into your head, you got to roll with it. So, and we try not to do things that are going to be like mistake, like you said, like you wouldn't drink a Nancy Reagan beer, Reaganomics beer. Like we want something that is like people aren't going to like misconstrue what it means just by looking at the board. But we
Yeah.
also want like kind of fun stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
you got to try to strike that balance.
Yeah,
right?
there's a balance. You know what I mean?
right.
And then you guys got to go through the like whole process with the government and like approvals and shit
Yeah.
like that. Like, did you guys run into any of that with the shutdown this year? I mean,
Yeah, we're dealing with some of that right now. I mean, hopefully they filter through some stuff before they shut down again in 2 weeks. But
wow.
When are you looking to release this?
so this will be so it's much easier to release beer in your tap room. You don't need as like the same kind of approvals that you do if you put them into cans.
Okay.
So this will be on tap on Wednesday. But it'll just be in the tap room on the board, growlers to go.
So,
whatever.
shit, we under immense pressure now.
Yeah.
We got till
No,
Wednesday.
it'll be on a Wednesday. Yeah, till
We
Wednesday.
got till Wednesday. I gotta come up with something like.
Yeah.
First of all, Nancy B just sounds like a good
Nancy
name. Like,
B.
Nancy
is,
B.
is a very
That just sounds swag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Nancy B. So you can always keep that in tuck. You know what I mean? But I do this. I like it. I want to name it. Fuck. That's okay. They ask questions. Keep this interview.
I was
gonna keep
Because I
thinking
was
of
like,
names.
like Nancy B's P, and it was just that was not a
Not after the R. Kelly
terrible-
documentary.
Yeah,
That's not after surviving R. Kelly. We're not gonna do.
That's not what we're doing.
Not in this day and
Not.
age.
It is her pastry stout. So shout out to Nancy B. I don't know. So like, what are you doing in Allegheny that I don't know that you feel is like, you know, differentiating yourself from like the pack? Because everybody, like you said, everybody's
Yeah,
you know,
right. Honestly, it's tough to differentiate. We're really just trying to do what the neighborhood tells us to do. You know, we're trying to be a neighborhood spot. We're trying to be, again, like I said, that third place. So like, we want people to like come walk down, drive over, ride their bike, whatever, bring their dog down after work or on a Saturday and just hang out for a couple hours. Like the coolest thing for us, I told you guys, like we want to make great beer, but like something that's super cool is like when we see people come in that like don't know each other, but they both live in a neighborhood, they're like, we'll introduce them from behind the bar, and then they'll start talking, and then a week later we'll see them come in together as friends now. Like it's a place where people like kind of create friendships. Yeah. So like that's what our kind of whole gig is, like to be a neighborhood spot. Like supported by beer, but just to be kind of a neighborhood spot.
Beer is the conduit for meaningful relationships and networking.
Yeah, we just honestly, it's like young, relatively speaking, 21 and over. But like we have people that are 21, we have people that are 75, we have guys, girls, white, black. I mean, we have like we have such a diverse mix of crowd that like, and people that would never, ever, ever talk to each other, like on the street, like kind of will just end up sitting next to each other in the bar, and they'll strike up like a conversation. They'll find some meaningful connection, music, whatever. And then like they'll be friends, and they'll be like a, 21-year-old Asian girl and an 80-year-old like white dude like that are like friends now because they joined over something that like they never would have even known that they had a similar interest. And that's what's like so cool, because the North Side's a very kind of like diverse, unique neighborhood. And so we just want to represent what the North Side is. So as far as what makes us unique, I don't know if that's what makes us unique, but that's what we want to be.
Well, I mean,
it's just like that kind of gig.
The North Side, like you said, the North Side being a pretty unique like place in Pittsburgh in the sense that like it's wildly diverse. It's large as shit. Like, I mean, there's so many neighborhoods within neighborhoods on the North Side. You know what I mean? Like,
sure, man.
That if you are just taking the pulse of that neighborhood and you're presenting an accurate picture of that neighborhood, that in and of itself is wildly different. You know what I mean? Like,
sure, man.
Like, I mean, with our podcast, like you say, what's different about you guys is like we are just a couple of funny dudes that drink or whatever, but like what makes our podcast dope is our guests and the folks that come in, and like we just take the pulse of the city, and the city tells us what to do. Sure, you know what I mean? Like, so, you're going to consistently get us, but like, people don't, like I said, people don't tune in for us. Like they in a sense they do.
We like to think that, but
like in a sense they're like, well, they're going to be there, but like we have to make sure that the people that we're talking to are interesting, or we can't. And luckily we're in a city that has a lot of interesting fucking people to talk to. So, you know what I mean? Like that. So I can see that, you know what I mean? Like going in the same thing with a comedy show, like, leaving from a comedy show and the people that like are in there, and you're like, oh, like a lot of people that come after when I come off stage, I'm talking like, like old flannel, like bearded white dudes was not a thing in my repertoire before I got into comedy. I mean, that was just, and then now I'm in it, I'm like, oh shit, like, and making those connections, you know what I mean? Like around that. So that's fucking amazing, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all we've ever wanted to be. And one cool thing we've got kind of coming up now, because a lot of our patrons are asking for it, is we just bought a canning line, so we're gonna start canning.
Yeah, let's start canning.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's actually in the house now. It's in. We got it delivered last Tuesday.
Oh, it was fresh.
So so like the actual empty cans will be here this Tuesday.
What are you doing? Like pounders, 12 ounces,
16 ounces. We'll do 4 packs of 16s through the brewery. Like most people, like most of the breweries around I mean, we're not trying to go crazy or have lines, but enough people ask, like, hey. There's enough people that come in, like, on a Thursday after work, right? And like have a beer and be like, oh, I gotta go, and like sometimes they'll want a growler, but not everyone always wants a growler.
But a growler has such a short
shelf
life.
Yeah, sure.
So like I'm like, I'm gonna do growler, but I'm not gonna, because once you crack that growwer, it's
now you win. You all in, right? I mean, you gotta finish it.
Yeah, so
I need something that when my girl get mad,
right?
You gonna ain't nothing better. You got attitude?
Yeah.
I'm Gucci.
It's not a 64-ounce night.
No, yeah, right. Like, maybe it's 16 or 30. Maybe it's eight beers. Right. Who knows?
Yeah. But like, I want to be able to.
When you got a can, the night's still open.
Yeah. Right.
Once I open this first can, I haven't dictated what my night's gonna be. So when you open a growler, like open. You dictated your night.
You're in.
I hit a can.
Right.
It could go however you want it to go. It's a warning shot.
Yeah.
It's a warning shot to wifey. All right, this first one open. You either gonna cooperate. I got a whole nother 5 in this joint that we can. Like it could go.
What do you do? What do you do when she walks in with her own?
Well, wifey for me walks in. She's gonna collaborate with me. Like she's not just bringing craft to drink herself. You know, many times she drinks craft. It's a collaborative effort. Now, if she brings home wine, I fucked up.
Oh, really?
Like, if you at home chilling and wife like, I'm about to go to the store, and she come back from the store with wine, okay, what did I do? Let's talk about it. Why are you upset with me? When was I inconsiderate? Like, if you bring out, I bought her the wine. Like, it's fucked up.
Are you smart enough to ask those questions, or are you just saying that now? Because I don't ask those questions.
I don't
should
ask them in the mature way that I'm saying.
Okay.
In the moment, I'm like, why you mad? What's going on? But like, yeah, I notice it.
Yeah.
Because it's weird because I bought her wine glasses, those big goblets. I bought them. Nice ass glasses. And when she pulled one of them out, it's always a bad thing. And I didn't know that when I bought them.
Wine night. And
yeah, because this ain't like I'm just drinking a little bit of wine. Like these are okay, but fuck, I'm when that wine bottle jump as you pour. So I'll be like, oh, she tight. What's she tight about?
Yeah.
Lately, it's been cool though because she launched her website. So I'm like, okay, she's dealing with stress.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cokepreneur.
In a regular situation, it's all right, look, I need to gauge if I'm going to be here asking her questions or if I'm going to just make myself scarce. Yeah. And as a man, scarcity, you can do that. Like, you can make yourself scarce, be off in the cut, let her deal with it, and then insert yourself, appropriately. Let her deal with it, get it through, and then just jump in. Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Let the wine work.
Let it work.
Let it work, and then slide in.
And conversely, ladies, listen, if your man's in the room and he's playing Grand Theft Auto or 2K or some shit, give him that entire game. Let him finish.
Right out.
Leave him the fuck alone.
Till he rage quit.
Don't come in asking questions. Don't come trying to solve shit while I got the stick in my hand.
With the coping mechanism.
Yeah, just
these are the coping mechanisms.
Exactly.
Let me work through my coping mechanism, and then because
this might not have nothing to do with you.
But that's the thing about friendships in general. Sometimes I'm coming to you because I want to fucking game plan some shit. I need to figure out we got a problem. How we gonna get through this shit? Right. Sometimes I'm just venting.
I need a little.
I just need an ear.
I just need a little me time.
I need a little me time.
And I'm not the best at conveying that.
I don't
verbally.
If I'm in it, I don't need that to be like, even like if I'm talking, I'm just like, yo, man, this is some wild shit that's going on. Like. It doesn't always need to be, hey, well, so maybe you should do this. You know what you should be doing? You should be doing.
I don't give a fuck about your suggestions if you're not in that field.
I'm just trying to vent.
You're not in that field.
I want somebody to be like, yeah, that fucking sucks. You know what I mean?
Don't tell me how I should do my podcast and you don't have a podcast.
I feel like shit's getting deep right now.
This is not specific to.
I feel like we might have solved some stuff right now. I think we might solve some stuff.
I just think with people, like, you got to understand when you live with someone or you have that relationship, understand their methods. Like, wifey has gotten much better, and I'll give her props. If I play 2K, she understands, like, I don't think this game is important, but this time where I just, for 1 hour, just have control over it. And I explained this to her. I said, look, the reason I play 2K is that I control everything. I control this dude. He's a winner because of me, because of the V. You know what I mean? I control all that.
Yeah.
So if I want to win a game, if I came through a day, and sometimes you deal with a hard day and you just feel like you took all losses.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I just took all L's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I come into this crib, I'm about to just take 1 hour. I'm gonna just get a W. I'm just gonna get a W. However it takes. And like, sometimes the game don't be going how I want it to go, and I'll turn that motherfucker off because I wasn't about to win. But I just need to get a W. It ain't got nothing to give me 1 hour and 15 minutes, and I'm back to it. I'm right back to you. What you need, what they need, what the kids need, what's going on, bang, bang. But just don't come up here with no fuck shit for this hour 15. Now, hour 27, you can lay on anything you got to say about your job. I'm all ears. Fuck it. It's your time. Just give me that hour 15. Don't bother me.
And in return, it's the same thing. I mean, and I think it's just gauging.
I don't never bother wife.
You're just gauging in that, like, figuring out when you're in your thing or whatever. And like, all right, and like, and we're not always the best, folks that are, but like I said, you got to gauge your partner. You got to figure out, like, that's how a relationship and like a team works in general. You know what I mean? Like, knowing when like a safe cracker, like knowing when to turn and when to not. You know what I mean? So
I always encourage wifey's me time because I know as a man, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like men are better at taking wifey's me time and turning into our me time. So you get yours, I get mine. Wifey's always seem like, all right, I got to see what's going on. So if you got your me time, I need to know exactly what's going on. I want to insert myself. Like if wifey want to go out with her friends, it don't bother me because while she's out, what I'm going to do is figure out how to get these kids occupied. And then I'm going to get my alone time while she's out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be sitting here concerned with what she's doing, what she's out, why she upset. No, go ahead. Go be with your friends because what I'm going to put them in front of a movie with their snacks. They're going to run in every, 20 minutes and say some shit. And I'm going to send them back to the room like, ain't nothing in here for you. But for the most part, I'm Gucci.
Yeah, but there's some folks, I've seen relationships where the woman is like, yo, get the fuck out of my face. And the dude is like, oh my God, I can't, like, I don't know what are you doing tonight? Like, let's hang out. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just people sometimes just don't have boundaries.
Different. I think that has happened.
Yeah, there's some folks that like,
that.
there's some like I've had some female friends be like, yo, this motherfucker is just like in my like, this motherfucker needs some friends. Like, and like they'll come to me and be like, yo, can you hang out with my boyfriend? Like, can you take him out and do some shit? I'm like, listen, if you don't like him, I probably ain't gonna like you. You should probably just cut that shit. Because I ain't about to save you for that. I don't think it's like men and women. I just think like whoever it is, personality type thing.
I only speak. But see, when I speak from a man.
Yeah. You're coming from the.
But I will say this. I'm also, and I've learned this more recently. I'm a loner. I'm a real loner. Like I'm a loner. Like I'm used to that. Like I grew up. It was my mom, my two sisters. So like I'm used to having to actually self-cope. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I'm used to that shit. Yeah. So I just carry that. But I give people their space. And with you with the brewery, with your wife coming on and saying, hey, look, go ahead, like make this shit happen. I'll support, but make that shit happen. And sometimes that's what it is. And if you're gonna take it serious, then I'm gonna give you that space. But make sure you taking it serious. I'm not into no shit you not taking serious. Like you're not just taking time away from me. Like be serious about the shit.
Well, and I gotta be clear, she's full time with the brewery. She's an owner of the brewery too. So like she's like not only supported my dream to do it, she's part of it. And it's
that's a working relationship.
And like she's super cool and like she she respects when we need our space and all that sort of stuff.
Right. And
but it is fucking tough to run a business with your significant other. I mean,
yes, the fuck it is. Like, anytime you have an endeavor, because with business partners,
you treat each other differently than you
treat completely differently. Yeah, I mean, like I can have a beef with Ed and that be like 5, 10, whatever the fuck it is or whatever, and we'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, the next day I have a beef with my fiance. I gotta sleep with you tonight. Like that shit. Like there's a whole nother. Yeah, I mean, and a difference of opinion and ideas, and there's even like the respect there. Yeah, I mean, that
it's just learning how to deal with it. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, like we'll. Like there's a bit like I said, there's a certain thing, like there's a certain place that like me and Ed and Buzzy we'll take each other to before we back off and be like, all right, yeah, I mean, but with wifey and vice versa, no, there's really no there's no cutoff. It's like, listen, we gonna have this, and I'm gonna say what it is.
Because everything that we talking has spilled over into how I feel today, and how I feel today now intersects with our personal life. And so now I gotta deal with.
I'm not just arguing with one thing. I might be arguing about this one thing, and I'm like, yo, what's the best way to do this? And then it'll bleed into some shit that I did like 13 months ago at a party. You'd be like, wait, I thought we were talking about beer.
No, I mean, right. At the end of the day,
wait, how the fuck?
With your significant other, it's always about how they felt. It's never about. There's no bottom lines with your significant other. It's always about how they felt.
Yeah,
I mean, so in business, it's bottom line. So if they came to me and say, "Look, bro, you didn't do X, Y, and Z. It affected X, Y, and Z in this way," I can't argue that. Fuck how you felt. This is whatever it is. But with wifey, it's like, well, you gotta understand because you asked me to do this, and then I had to do that, and that made me less opt to do this, and and if you would do, and you just like, all right, but goddamn, I wasn't ready for all.
But the other side of that is like having success with family is so much better, so much sweeter than like just doing it with like just random partners or on your own. So like the fact that I'm doing it with like Amy and Matt, like that we're family. It's like it's awesome that we have been successful the three of us as family. And so like, yeah, it's harder, but it's more rewarding. So I think there's both sides of it.
100% right. I mean, like I said, I mean, I consider like, even if you aren't in, like I said, I mean, like with me and wifey, and same thing with Ed and his wifey I'd have met it, they're in a business together. You know what I mean? Like everything that Ed does, everything that I do, like I got to go and I got to explain why I'm doing it and what it is.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And also like, you know, there's a collaborative effort. Yeah, I mean, like like I said, Cocopreneur was, in a Fresh Fest, the things that she's doing for Black community. I mean, like these are businesses. I mean, we're all like if we see ourselves as artists, as all small businesses. You know what I mean? Like that relationship is a working relationship. Camille has issues, like has say in Ed's moves. Kat has say in my moves. When I go back, I go, hey, I'm about this, that, and the other. If she ain't on board, it's probably like to make an executive this and be like, listen, this ain't a car. Like I'm gonna just go do this. Man, that don't.
So, you want to sleep tonight?
Yeah, that don't good. That's like you got to pull that once in a while. Yeah, I mean, but for the most part, it's a conversation. Yeah,
sure,
I mean, and
right.
you move together.
Yeah,
so
you know I mean?
I'll say this: when you have two, and wifey and I work in conjunction to a certain extent, but Cocopreneur doesn't necessarily affect how Drinking Partners moves, but what we've introduced, there are executive concepts. So there's an executive move, like this is a one-time I'm making this move. There are executive concepts like, look, if I got a paid gig that's going to further whatever, that's going to trump any networking that you have to do in person. And that becomes a point of contention.
But again, it's a conversation.
But it becomes a point of contention.
And as a result, like you are now in a business together because
right. But our business isn't necessarily Cocopreneur and Drinking Partners. It's the
Ed
Bailey family.
Right.
So it's like, who's gonna be home because we don't have any
Yes.
family here. All right. So here's what I would say. My concept of this night is a paid because we're more established and it's paid. There's money going right in, and I'm gonna pay for renovations, or I'm gonna pay the electric, whatever. That's gonna take precedent over. All right, I'm gonna go out and try to search out or seek out some opportunity. Now, executive concepts come into play when you both have separate businesses, but you with Allegheny City and you and your wife and your brother-in-law, you know, you guys are going to come to more collaborative understandings as to how to move within your particular business. Yeah. And it's weird. It's definitely been a learning experience for me because she's gained momentum. So, you know, Drinking Partners, we were doing very well. We were gaining momentum. People were fucking with us. And then she's like, all right, I got this great idea. I'm about to throw my hat in the ring. Bang, bang. She gets this momentum. And now it's like, all right, well, now I have to take into account what she's doing. Right. Like, because I got the Drinking Partner shit that takes up a lot of time, but I also have my stand-up shit where I need to be going to open mics, need to be available on weekends, et cetera, et cetera. But she needs to do these things. Yeah. And so, you know, there's some sacrifice on my end to meet the sacrifice she makes. I'm interested with you guys working within the context of the same company. How do you measure? Do you have kids?
No, we don't.
Okay, so that helps. That helps. How do you measure expectation as far as I'm gonna be here, or do you both can collaborate and go in places, or how does that work? So that's good though. I'm not gonna disparage that at all. That's awesome.
The concept, be it relationship or business, is like not. This is gonna sound wrong. Us against the world type of thing. Like we're not trying to fight the world, but like.
It is.
We're here.
You two doing
so like
we honest. We linked up and we out here. Right. Like what we about to do. That's dope.
And as a business side, it's Matt, Amy, and I kind of like again like we're very. I mean, the great thing about the brewing world is that it's super collaborative. So it's not us against the world.
But at the end of the day,
we are here to do whatever needs to be done to make this business successful, and we all always pull more than our own slack, and we try not to keep score over who's doing what, because at the end of the day, like what we know, we all will do whatever it takes, and we trust each other implicitly to do it. And we each have different strengths and weaknesses for sure, and we're learning those as we grow. But like I know fully that those two would do whatever it takes, and as well as the rest of our employees. Like everyone's all in, and And that's the whole thing. Is like we're all in. And so
it's
like
a unified front.
It's and so
we'll have conversations together, but at the end of the day,
champions all
a unified front.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
and it's not always easy, but I know everyone.
It's never easy,
right? So I mean, be it personal or business, like if you know that like you're all in, everyone's all in, we're all a unified front, like you said. Yeah, at least at the end of the day, like you're
right. You
rowing in the same direction.
The moves that they
the
made were to the greater good.
Sure.
So then you'll look at it through a lens of, okay, how was this to help, as opposed to why the fuck you do that?
Yeah. Like, if you come with if you have that trust in that relationship, that like, even though there's discrepancies or whatever and differences in opinion, if you know that it's coming from not from a place of malice, but of a place of like, whatever, that makes it much easier to kind of like problem solve in places. So, you start, like communication and trust issues, shit like that. Then the shit breaks down. So, what is this that we're drinking right now?
Is this a Saison?
No, this is a Gosa.
It's a sour.
Shit, I was close.
It's a sour. Yeah.
So is it sour or Gosa? No.
Gosa's a sour.
It's a type of sour, but this is not a Gosa. What type it is?
So this is a plum fruited sour.
A plum fruited sour.
So it's
fruited sour.
A little bit sour, and we added 400 pounds of pureed plum to it.
Crazy.
And
I've not had a plum beer yet.
So it's
I don't even know what plums actually are supposed to taste like.
Honestly, I'm not a plum. I didn't either.
I love plums, man.
Really?
Yeah,
you're the first person I ever met that eats plums. I
don't eat them anymore. But they used to always be in my lunches. When I was a kid, I used to eat a lot of fucking plums because sometimes when they're first out, they're sour, but then once they get old, they get sweeter or whatever. And that skin, but fucking plums are fucking delicious, man. Now that I think about it, I don't know why I don't eat more fucking plums.
I should eat some plums.
I should eat more fruit, to be honest.
I don't even know where.
I should probably eat more fruits and vegetables if we're being 100%. My diet is 90% red meat and beer, so I should probably eat more fruits and vegetables.
Agreed.
And plums being that, but
if you gave me 5 minutes to go to the grocery store and find plums, I probably wouldn't be able to do it. I have no idea where they're at.
I'd go to the apples first.
Plums are way more delicious than apples. The texture.
But if you're talking about finding plums, I'm gonna go to the apples and
then go from there.
That's
a good strategy. That's a good strategy.
I don't know exactly, because when you get to that produce section, shit be in weird places.
Yeah,
they got this weird section for garlic, which I feel is unnecessary. They have 2 different types of cucumbers. That produce could be a bit confusing, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just look at shape.
Well, which grocery store are you at? I mean, they're different.
There's only one in Pittsburgh. There's Giant Eagle, and the rest are smaller chains. But Giant Eagle is the only major grocery store. Somebody brought that to my attention too. Pittsburgh is a city of monopolies. If you really UPMC, PNC, Giant Eagle, people really be running.
The cost of living is so low because they come in and they're like, listen, we could just take this whole shit over.
If you look at it, there are no competing grocers.
No.
You can compete second to Giant Eagle, so you can save a lot, shop and save, Foodland,
Coons,
all these they'll all compete in that same realm. But when I go back home, there's Mark's, Giant Eagle. There's a bunch of major
Walmarts
grocery
and Costco's or whatever. But
I don't even know if niggas just grocery shop at Walmart. Although I've heard the chicken is good.
Motherfuckers grocery shopping at Walmart. Yeah,
I've never grocery shopped at Walmart. Yeah, I mean, wifey don't let me shop at Walmart.
I don't.
Giant Eagle. No, Giant Eagle is expensive.
It's got a strong quality on the game. Some of it,
but it's
Shakespeare Giant Eagle. Back.
Oh yeah,
that ain't that
I guess
great.
that yeah.
Well, Giant Eagles don't be that great. It's reflective, that Northside
of the
Giant
community
Eagle that was across the street for them projects. That shit wasn't that good.
It wasn't, but the prices were a little more expensive.
Well, we got that
That's
ice
the thing,
from Fresh
though.
Fest for that shit though. But you can't fuck up ice. You can't fuck up ice. You fuck up ice.
Nah, I know what the market value of ice is.
You ain't about to screw me on the ice. I was in there for Fresh Fest, grabbing all the ice. It was who is this motherfucker? Shut up. Shit in the back of my truck. About 27 bags of ice. What are you doing? You at work. When do you clock out?
That was a story from motherfucker. This motherfucker came in and bought all the ice.
Yep.
Took all the bags.
Yes, I did.
I had to call the manager.
Lucky
we ain't got no more ice. What
You
we
lucky
gonna
I ain't
do?
run through them red plastic cups. You lucky I ain't run through the solo cups. I was looking at running through that shit too. I was about to run through your whole ice solo inventory.
Yeah, because we definitely ran out of fucking glasses.
I remember.
I was walking around. Motherfuckers had a fucking a rocker. I was like, bro, did you just walk into my spot like with a glass? And motherfuckers talking to me like, yo, this beer festival's dope as shit, bro. And I'm like, nigga, did you just bring your own glass? He's like,
hey, man,
nah. They handed me at the door, and I was like, what the fuck? I go back, like Ed and Mike was like, yeah, no, we ran out of them motherfucking dips. Like we sold out. Like, yeah.
The nice little glasses you guys had, they're real nice. They sold out early because I remember pouring beers that day, and then you could see it progressing through the day. Then it went to like random other glassware, and then it was like at the end of the day, it was just like red Solo cups. Yeah. But people had wristbands on, so I'm like, "Gal, you're legit. I'll pour it for you."
Yeah.
But I'm like, "Where'd you get this red cup at?" They're like, "Oh, that's all they got left."
Because we only had 700 glasses because that was sellout.
Somebody came in with they were in with like tumblers and stuff. It was
it was all like okay because like we had 700, and then once we reached 700, we were like, well, we still got more space. We got to give them something. So we went to fucking the restaurant depot and got whatever the fuck they had. And then we went again because we were like, well, this might could be like another maybe 100 people coming in. And then we ran out of those. We're like, well, this maybe probably going to be another 100 people coming in. So we went back and got more random glasses. And then we were like, oh shit. And then they were like, well, we're closed. Restaurant Depot was closed. And it was like, so what are we going to do? And it was like red Dixie cups, I guess. Like we like people want to drink. So like, I mean, we gave them money on. It was like, every $10 on, $10 on. But it was the weirdest fucking problem I had ever like ran into.
Look, man, you just do what you got.
You got to do it. You got to do it for sure.
I could have got you straight from the tap. Here you go.
We got no more cups, but you want to do keg stand at every brewery? It'd be like $25.
We should just sell keg stands.
We got to figure out the insurance on keg stands.
Just take your driver's license and your car keys. Just take your car keys and just now you're not gonna be able to get in.
So what's the last entry here?
All right, last one. It's a new IPA we put on this week. It's called Single Track Mind IPA. It's
Single Track Mind.
I gotta catch up.
So it's kind of the name is kind of two meaning. One, it's a single hop in it. It's all Nelson hops, and so these hops kind of profile as like a little bit more like red winey and like not
hazy,
not dank, but not as citrusy as some other ones would be. So and Nelson's a real nice hop. So, but we also brewed it in collaboration with and for a fundraiser for the Wheel Mill in Trail Pittsburgh. So like they're doing a big event next weekend. The weekend of the February 9th, I think it is, whatever that day would be, to raise money to rehabilitate trails throughout Pittsburgh. Oh, and so we brewed it with
Cleanways.
It's Trail Pittsburgh is through who's for, and then but the Wheel Mill, it's like a indoor bike shop in Pittsburgh that we brewed it with. So their owner came over and helped us brew it a couple weeks ago, and so we have it on just now. We put it on this week. And then we'll be donating a couple kegs to them for their event. But so the name is kind of like a two things. One, the single track component or the single component of one hop, and then the single track concept of like, if you guys are like ever like ride mountain bikes or whatever.
Nah, we not the mountain biking.
Yeah, so like
we know what it is.
So yeah, like a single track is like a trail through hills or mountains or whatever that you would ride that it allows for one bike to get by. Like a double track would be like down, two ways for two to get back. Yeah. So it's just the concept.
Single track, man.
Single track is like single track goes to bikes, single track goes to hops. And so
why don't I do appreciate the medley that comes with like multiple hops and whatnot, but also sometimes like because I like the flavor of this.
Yeah,
it is dank, like you say, and floral, but like like why don't we see more single hop like beers? I mean, a lot of the IPAs and it's like blending and this and that, and I get it. I mean, you get the the flavor whatever, but like to appreciate a hop and get that like this is that hop. enjoy this. This is, I mean,
Sure.
this is what I did with this one thing. You know what I
Right.
mean, like, why don't we see more of that?
I can't really say why we don't see more of it, but yeah, I get what you're saying for sure. As far as it makes a lot of sense to like showcase one hop in a single hop beer, and we've done it. And I know some other breweries around town do that as well. So it is a thing.
Yeah.
But as like you kind of made the analogy earlier that like breweries are kind of like chefs making the recipes. Like you want to make the best possible recipe you can, and sometimes you can feel like you want to showcase a hop in a single hop beer, but then sometimes maybe you feel like it's a little one note, and so you want to add some other spices, hops or whatever, to give it a little more well-rounded kind of flavor profile. And so it's just like really just kind of what you're trying to have on your tap at any given time. Like there's the marketing aspect and a component of like that makes a lot of sense to do a single hop beer, because you really understand then like what Nelson tastes like in this beer. But if you want to build a beer that you think is like the best possible tasting beer you can build, then maybe you add like throw in a couple other hops that you think like, okay, now I know what this beer tastes like. I could supplement it with, Galaxy or Citra or whatever to kind of get it a little bit more well-rounded. And so I think that's the reason is most brewers are trying to make the best possible beers they can. And while it's really awesome to do a single hop beer, to understand what that hop brings, it's like making.
Do you do that first? Like, do you do a single hop beer
and then
add to it? Like, I mean, is that how you get acclimated with it, or do you just sniff the hop and then throw it in?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, but we have done that. Like, we have built a single hop beer. So, like, there's a concept in brewing called like smash brewing, SMASH, and it stands for single malt and single hop. So, like, you just have like one hop and one malt and one yeast.
Smell smash for me?
Well, no, I meant that.
Smash.
You know what?
SMAA.
No, but
it does. Well, no, it's not unique in how he spelled out the acronym.
No, I was just trying to illustrate that it was an acronym, and that's what it represents. Not that you don't know how to spell smash. No, just the acronym of it. That's why it's called Smash. There's an acronym behind it: single malt, and single hop.
Right.
And so we've done some of those, and that's where a lot of people will do like a real base grain, a real like clean yeast, and then like a particular hop, and then they'll tweak the hop around. So like people will do a Smash series of the same everything except for just change the hops out so that you can really pick up the differences between hops, and then maybe they'll grow it from there.
Something like troubleshooting, kind of. Like
just learning, just like
variable. It's science. Like eliminating variables and figuring that out.
For sure, man.
Are there certain hops that are more like
compatible? Yeah, I was going to ask
or even
compatible,
or even like hops that are like more like single malt hops that like can be the winner, and some are more like secondary, kind of like like even with like spices and seasoning or whatever, like certain shit is like you could make a thing like flavored like this, but like lemon is a thing that you can season. But like apples can be the pie. You can't make a lemon pie, but you can make an apple pie.
If you would have
too strong,
if you would have asked me 2 years ago, I might have said yeah. Now people are putting fucking Oreos in cookies, like and Nancy B's in cookies, like anything's game now. So like I would say
had an Oreo.
No. So like I would say that like people are doing like things that used to be rolls. People are saying fuck those rolls. We're just gonna try something, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it works, we're doing something new. So there's no rolls now. I mean, it's like you take like your European noble hops that would traditionally be in a certain style, and you're using them in a different fashion. I mean, 5 years ago, people weren't dry hopping with 10 pounds of hops per barrel like they are now. It's the craft beer world has drastically changed in the last 5 years, and so if you can be unique, but then also find like something that tastes good, it doesn't matter anymore. Like to your example, like maybe people should be making lemon pies now.
So can we look forward to an Oreo stout?
We haven't done one, but there have been multiple breweries in Pittsburgh that have done Oreo stouts.
Yeah, Hitchhiker did an Oreo stout. Speedwagon, I believe it was. I mean, it was pretty dope.
Awesome name, Oreo Speedwagon.
Oreo Speedwagon. It's an album, I believe. I mean,
I gotta find that.
But
they need to do it again.
Just dawned on me that the Smash 2X app, the Smash IPA, is that what from Southern Tier? That's with the single malt. Like,
I believe so.
I had no until just now.
So now you're mad at me for spelling out Smash.
Well, you didn't need to spell it out. But
we always on edge. We always like. So what you say? This is gonna be.
But Smash now I get single malt, and that's why it's called the Smash.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Because I love that of the Southern Tier, a lot of the shit that goes out.
The crib right now.
The Smash is like one of my faves that they put out there, and wow, because like this is a great fucking beer, and like I don't know, man. Like I do love the medleys, but I also like to know what it is.
What is you're tasting?
Yeah, what I'm tasting or whatever. And like I so this is phenomenal.
Thank you, sir.
Hazy as fuck.
Yeah, it's hazy but dank.
Yeah,
like like a little bit of west, a little bit of east. You know what I mean? You know, like man, that's a.
No, I'm just enjoying you going through that.
Yeah, no, I don't. Like I said, I don't get the single hop like as much. It's usually Mosaic and Amarillo and Citra, like some kind of blend. Like these days, especially when you're talking about like the hazies and whatnot, like you're getting those three. Like I mean, the Galaxy, Galaxy was like the
super
rock star.
Fruity. Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like those three, and there's always like three. It's always a triple hop kind of. You know what I mean? You know.
And so, is there no combination that's industry standard as far as like what these three hops are compatible, or these two hops are generally compatible in this ratio and whatnot?
Now, I mean,
always trial and error.
No, I mean the hops that they mentioned are largely the hops that are most associated with like the New England style, which is like juicy, fruity, you know, stone fruit and lemon and like strawberry, like the different fruits that you would like want in a New England. You know, the Galaxies, the Eldorados, the Citras, the Mosaics. So there are hops that profile towards that direction. But that said, I think anything's fair game now, and people are trying all sorts of different combinations. But yeah, I mean, in many of your New Englands, you'll see those hops that he mentioned profiled pretty strongly, because they all kind of push in that same direction of like a orange juice kind of flavored beer. You know, there is a kind of a piece of the world that like the more a beer looks and tastes like orange juice is like the more New Englandy it is. You know, and so like sweeter, like less, like no, like almost no astringency and bitterness to the hop, but more just like the juicy, fruity kind of side of it. Is what is kind of, you know, popular in the New England style. So,
like stripping away the introduction, the bitterness, and just the, you know what I mean? Because that's the thing about like IPAs, that's like you get that bitterness and then it opens up afterwards. You know what I mean? And like you gotta work for it.
Yeah.
Whereas like with the New Englands, you don't have to work for it. Yeah. It's just there.
Yeah, right.
I'm just trying to think of if I drink orange juice, and I can almost liken it to a beer tasting to a certain extent. I mean, it's not the same, but there's a bit of bite and citrus and without the malt. Like it's not frothy at all.
Not the same, no.
But I can see that. Yeah. So for you saying people are trying to get New England's as orange juicy as possible.
Yeah.
What type of orange juice? So Simply or Tropicana?
I'm not saying that's how they are.
Nah, it's big. That's a big distinction.
What am I? I'm Simply.
Okay, but I fucks with
you. Yeah, no doubt. I mean,
Tropicana Simply dude.
I'm a Simply dude.
All right. So
but
we
listen,
all Simply.
If Tropicana's on sale, I'm still going Simply.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes Tropicana is of attractive price, and Tropicana fucking pure squeeze, like the whole.
Said he's
like,
still going Simply.
No, I'm still going Simply. I'll pay extra for Simply.
It's all Simply, baby.
Man,
all simps over
here. If that Tropicana is twofer on the right price, I'm gonna fucking. Yeah, I mean, Simply is I did well. I'm gonna be all right with the.
No, Naked is I did well.
Naked at this point, Naked for me is just a survival mechanism. It's the only
Naked
thing that
is when you like get too drunk. You like, I gotta
that's my hangover juice.
I gotta do something to bring me back to par. I gotta get back to par. I'm gonna spend $7 on that.
Yeah, that's it. Simply. But Naked is I gotta get through the day.
I just got good birthday money. Yeah. So thank you for the spread, and all this shit was
absolutely
dope. I feel like I failed you. I still want to come up with a name,
We got time.
Just
We got
cookie
time.
cutters,
Listen,
nasty.
we got till 5 p.m. on Wednesday.
That's it. You got until 5 p.m. on Wednesday, and I didn't told this man that you were the guy. So yeah, I mean, both of our names are on the line here. I mean, like we put a lot of. There was no part of me that was like, yo, I'm gonna jump in on this. No, I was like, yo, this dude.
This
No, that's cool. I'm about to go home. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna have sex, and I'm gonna come up with a crazy name.
Like during sex, like screaming out in the middle,
Nancy. Don't say Nancy out like that. Your whole
Nancy B.
My woman would be so confused. What sort of elderly woman are you looking at? It's Nancy B. What you fucking with Gen Xers? What is you baby booming fucking ass dude? You got a Nancy B?
That's probably not the best side to come out with.
But thereafter, the after sex lay where they they want to start talking about
pillow
shit.
talking.
Because I don't do that. The after sex lay is all right. How we gonna clean up, and how am I gonna separate myself from you? And it's not separate myself from you disrespectfully, but like, all right, I still need my me time. Like it was dope that we enjoyed each other's bodies, but I still want to play 2K. And how do I get
that is man. I'd be sitting there like, so how long do I have to lay here before I go do what I want to
before I go put my drawers on? How long before I go put my drawers on? It's like a card.
Yeah, I mean, like how long do I got to keep this card before it's disrespectful to throw away? I mean, like, it's a gift. It's thoughtful. I appreciate you for it.
But at some point, someone's got to move.
I'll be laying there thinking like, ooh, the big TV is open right now. It's wide open.
Like I be doing that. How long I gotta lay here before I pick my phone up? Like, yeah, I mean, like the phone, like the shit be going on.
I don't
and
even
be
know
like,
where my phone is.
Shit, nah, man, that should be vibrating. I'm like, oh man, that's important. Like, I'm waiting on this email, and I'm like, that's probably the email right there. Like, that's real shit. Like, but I love you, babe. Like,
you gotta slide. You gotta figure out how to slide your arm from under her head and neck. It's all unnatural. That unnatural. I'm gonna remove my arm slide, but then you slide it out, and then you put it back like you still cuddling her, but you not. And yeah, it's weird. Sorry, don't listen to a wifey. Let the people know where they can find you before we break up.
Who, me?
Yeah, not you and I, but me and wife. It's about to be over. She know, because now she's gonna be looking for that slide. I see what you doing. Don't know. Don't know.
You're longer than that. You got need a new move now.
Don't nobody sliding on me right now. You trying to snake out of that shit? Pop locking like Omarion and shit. My shit since I've been in the accident. I can pop my shit out.
Let me give you a key to success, bro.
Uh-oh.
Get her into the spoon. Slide over. And then just look at the phone. Your neck is gonna take some work, but she's over to just cuddle, and you got the
giving away all the secrets.
And then you get a little back, and you keep the on the back, and it's like, so we still in here, but like, let me cut a couple peeks.
See, I'm not
here.
I need to peek at my phone. I be wanting to get the fuck up. I be ready to get up.
But you gotta give that time before you give up. Is what I'm saying. You gotta give that little bit of time.
You gotta get some skin to skin before you get up. But I'm all about, all right, look.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get something to drink. I'm gonna need to get these baby wipes because you got little kids, you got baby wipes. Like, you just clean up, then just go.
Where can they find you?
That's a good transition.
Yeah, just go. Just let them know where they can find you. Off this Allegheny City, you gonna have to do your snake out of your woman's spoon.
So
snake out the spoon off the
snake out the spoon.
Brewery itself is in Northside, Dutchtown neighborhood, right off east of High Street, a block off it. Website keeps pretty much everything up to date, but most current content is on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That's about it. And you can call our phone, but we don't typically answer very often. Because a good side story is there is an internet pharmacy company in Colorado that auto forwards their calls to our phone number just like randomly. People that are trying to buy like online Viagra and shit. So we get probably 40 calls a day.
I answer all those calls.
We get like, not 40, we probably get 10 calls a day of people that just say like, where are my drugs? And so we just stop answering the phone. So don't call us, email us, hit us on social media.
That's random as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's nothing a fun company can do
Like,
about it because
are
they're
they
like,
called Allegheny City? Like,
no, there's a company in Colorado that has an online pharmacy. This is as much as we've been able to trace. And it's like but they don't ever deliver the drugs. Like, right, it's just like an online scam. But so like they have an 800 number, but they have their 800 number to set to auto forward to our number, just random.
I just got fucking scammed by that shit. I had
Truly
I bought what the fuck I bought? I bought AirPods.
Yeah.
Off of this fucking site, and it had an 800 number, and when I called the number, it was some fucking like company in Colorado, and they were like, bruh, yeah, like I left a message and shit. I was like, yo, why didn't they answer shit? I left a message or whatever, and he called back and left a message like, listen, man, so they've been doing this scam for a while, so you probably want to contact your credit card company or whatever. Yeah. I mean, luckily it was only like a couple. Yeah, I mean, it was like less than $200 or whatever, and like I was able to just like hit up the peoples, and they were like, all right, we'll just take that and refund it, and it was a super easy, whatever. But that could have been like super.
Yeah,
I don't buy shit online.
So you don't buy shit online at all?
No.
What?
Weird.
Nah, that's how my credit is where it is. That's how I keep. I mean, I don't. If I don't touch it, bro, you're not selling that shit to me. Like,
right, that's fair.
Can
that's
wait.
fair.
Have a good credit score and shop online. It's been proven.
No, you can't. You can't because motherfuckers is stealing your 200.
But we literally
200. That might be the payment. Like, you know what I mean? Nah.
Well, they refunded it, and I was able to. Yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten the thing that said that they had figured it out, whatever it was.
Exactly. I ain't dealing with that.
They refunded me the money immediately. But you're right. It does. Like, it can. I mean, because like wifey had a thing where like it was on some other shit, and they didn't refund it immediately, and it was like,
and that shit can take you like. Here's what they do. They throw a $5 transaction that you don't notice, and then they start hitting you with the big chunks. And the thing about the big chunks is every bank they get 10 business days to do something with you. So depending on how that shit fall, if that shit fall when you got to pay for some shit, it don't matter if you get the money back because you might still get that late.
Yeah.
I'm not with no late.
Yeah.
I'm Gucci, bro. Like I'm trying to die and my kids still like buy a car on my name. Like I'm trying.
But so if we get 5 calls a day, it's like one call is
we just found out of here.
Buzzy, turn the lights off. Dave, let them know where they can find me.
Yeah, well, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partners party. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. And you can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at Partners Pod. I got to break this goddamn seal.
I got to break the seal, too. We want to thank our guest, Al, for coming through from Allegheny City Brewing. Good shit. Make sure you go check them on the north side. Deutschtown? Is that how you say it?
Yes,
I fucks with the north side. I used to live over there. We want to film at Fresh. You'll see myself. You'll see Day there. You see a bunch of motherfuckers, man. But come check out Allegheny City Brewing. We out of here. Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family. And we out of here. We all about to make this. Let you go. I'm good, man. I haven't broken yet, so I'm sorry. I would say